Alright, this is the joint decision. UFC 312 full card predictions and breakdown. We're rolling through every fight on this card, early prelims, main card. If there's a scrap in the car park, I'm on it. We'll break down the matchups, look at the odds, and see what the fighters have been up to heading into this weekend. Then I'll give you my picks, some quick reasoning, and maybe even a baked take or two. It's all about figuring out who's going to spark up the octagon and who's burning my parlays. So grab a drink, roll one up, and let's get into it. Kicking things off with Hun Peace of Mind Sung Park versus Nyamjagal Tumendemberel. Park sitting clean at 9-0 sparked out Ross and choked out Choi in 2023, plus rolled up Kiram back in 2022. He doesn't like leaving it to the judges. Tumendemberel's 8-1. He lost a split decision to Hernandez in November 2024, but before that, he choked out Dainso and edged past Kiram with another split decision in 2023. Both are 5-7. Park's 29, Tumendemberel's 26, not much of a gap. Topology's got 86% backing Park, with 71% thinking he gets it done by decision. Odds have him at -280, with Tumendemberel as a +225 underdog. On socials, Park looks locked in, posting at the gym, and he recently tied the knot. Tumendemberel's out there aura farming in front of mountains, as well as in the gym too. Park's finished 8 of his 9 wins, evenly split between KOs and submissions, 4 of those in the first round. He's only seen the judges once and still got the win. Tumendemberel's got 4 first-round finishes too, split evenly, but he's gone the distance twice. 1 win, 1 loss. Topology leans toward Park by decision, but honestly, this feels like it might not go the distance. I'm picking Park too, I'm just not sold on the decision. Moneyline's the safe bet, but if you're feeling risky, maybe throw something on Park by knockout. And following that, Quillan Sulkild versus Anshul Jubli. Sulkild 7-1 won a unanimous decision over Young in September on Dana White's Contender Series, defended his belt by choking out Fan in February 2024, and picked up another unanimous decision over Pastore in Eternal MMA back in 2023. Jubli's also 7-1. He got sparked out by Breeden, but before that, he sparked out Saragi in 2023 and edged past Kim with a split decision in 2022. Both stand 6 foot tall. Sulkild's 25, Jubli's 30. Topology's got 90% backing Sulkild, with 58% predicting a knockout. Odds have him as a heavy favourite at -410, while Jubli's sitting at +320 as the underdog. On socials, both seem locked in. Sulkild's posting shadowboxing clips, and Jubli's been working on ground and pound. Sulkild's yet to prove himself in the actual UFC, but 5 of his 7 wins are finishes, including 2 first-round knockouts. Jubli's got UFC experience, but he's more decision-heavy, with just 2 knockouts and 1 submission. His best shot seems to be grinding out another decision. However, I'm with Topology on this one. I think Sulkild gets it done, and most likely by finish. Honestly, I can see him winning either way, but my prediction is Sulkild by knockout. Next up, Kevin Juice versus Jonathan McAuliffe. Juice's 10-3. He got sparked out by Battle in September 2024, but before that, he won a unanimous decision over Song and choked out Crosby in 2023. McAuliffe's 7-1. He choked out Addo in October on Dana White's Contender Series, choked out Vale in September, but lost his belt after getting sparked out by Bates on Hex back in March 2024. Juice's 31 and stands 6'2". McAuliffe's 25 and 6 foot. Topology's got 85% backing Juice, with 83% predicting he gets it done by decision. Odds have him as the -240 favourite, with McAuliffe sitting as a +200 underdog. On socials, Juice seems locked in, posting training clips in his fight gear, while McAuliffe hasn't posted much since October. Both are ex-Hex fighters, but Juice's been in the UFC for his last 3 fights, whereas McAuliffe's only UFC-adjacent experience is through Dana White's Contender Series. Worth noting, McAuliffe's only loss came by knockout, and Juice's got 4 KOs, plus a submission and 5 decisions on his record. I think Juice could pull off another finish here. If he does, I'd lean knockout. But I'm siding with Topology on this one. I'm picking Juice by decision. And to close out the early prelims, we've got Cody Steele versus Rongju. Steele's sitting clean at 7-0, sparked out Blair in October on Dana White's Contender Series, flattened Martinez in April, and took out Echeverry back in 2023 with Fury FC. Rongju's 25-6. He got sparked out by Padilla in September, before that choked out Haraguchi in February, and won a unanimous decision over Kim in 2023 on Road to UFC. Both stand 5'9". Steele's 29, Rongju's 24. Topology's got 86% backing Steele, with 71% expecting a knockout. Odds have him as a -240 favourite, while Rongju's a +195 underdog. On socials, Steele's locked in, posting workout clips with his coach, but not much from Rongju. The last time he posted training was back in December 2024. Over half of Steele's wins are knockouts, 2 in the second round, plus a submission and a couple decisions. But keep in mind, he's yet to fight on an actual UFC card. Rongju's been there though. 4 UFC fights, only 1 win, but that was by knockout. He's got 14 KOs total, with 8 in the first round, and the rest split evenly between rounds 2 and 3. Steele looks like he's climbing the ladder, while Rongju's been up and down, solid outside the UFC, but hasn't really settled inside of it. I'm sticking with the odds here. I'm picking Steele by knockout. Starting off the prelims. Alexandre Topuria versus Colby Thickness. Topuria's 5-1 sparked out Segas in 2023 on WoW, Ibanez in 2022 on War, and Tenorio back in 2021 on HDH. Thickness is undefeated at 7-0, sparked out Maloons in November on Hex, choked out Akorpa in October, and sparked out Gobel in July on Kangoo. Topuria's 29 and stands 5'7". Thickness is 25 and 5'9". Topology's got 63% backing Topuria, with 58% expecting a knockout. The odds have him as a heavy -410 favourite, while Thickness sits as a +320 underdog. Topuria looks locked in, posting training clips. While it's not shown, we can assume he's getting work in with Ilya. Thickness is locked in too, training with the legend himself, Volk. This one's tricky. Both guys are dangerous finishers. Thickness is younger, taller, more active, and seems like a well-rounded fighter, while Topuria's been landing about 1 knockout a year. Impressive, sure, but I get the feeling the odds and most of Topology are leaning on his connection to Ilya. Neither have fought in the UFC yet, so it's tough to be confident either way. Topuria feels like the obvious pick, but I think the odds are way off here. I'm going with Thickness by knockout. Up next, Kong Wang versus Bruna Brazil. Wang's 6-1. She got choked out by Fernandez in November, but before that, she sparked out Leonardo in August and choked out Luna in May 2024 on Road to UFC. Brazil's 10-4, picked up a unanimous decision win over McCann in July, lost to Look Boon Mi in February 2024, and grabbed a win over Bannon back in 2023. Both fighters are 5'6". Wang's 32, Brazil's 31. Topology's got 72% backing Wang, with 59% predicting a knockout. The odds have her as a heavy -440 favourite, while Brazil's a +340 underdog. Wang hasn't been posting much, just vibing in some Chinese hanfu, while Brazil's grinding it out with the fighting nerds, training alongside Borralho, Strickland and others. A lot of people said Wang got fraud checked in her last fight after losing her 0, but I think it was just an unfortunate slip, getting rolled up and choked out by a solid fighter in Fernandez. Brazil's good too, and beating McCann by decision deserves some respect. That said, I don't see Wang making the same mistake again. Brazil's best path to victory seems to be a decision, but I don't think she'll get the chance here. I'm leaning towards a finish here, agreeing with the Topology community. My pick is Wang by knockout. Moving on, we've got Tom Nolan versus Vyacheslav Borshchev. Nolan's 8-1, won a unanimous decision over Reyes in August, sparked out Martinez in May, but got sparked out himself by Motta in January 2024. Borshchev's 8-4, picked up a split decision win over Lontop in August, got rolled up by Hooper in May 2024, and sparked out Hyasai back in 2023. Nolan's 24 and stands 6'3". Borshchev's 33 and 5'11". Topology's got 52% backing Borshchev, with 71% predicting a knockout. The odds have him as a slight favourite at -135, while Nolan's sitting at +115. Both fighters seem locked in, Nolan's working pads, Borshev too, though he might have tested some kangaroo grappling somewhere in there. Borshev's got serious power. 6 of his 8 wins are knockouts, mostly in the first 2 rounds. But don't count Nolan out. 5 of his 8 wins are knockouts too, 4 of them in round 1 and the other in round 2. Feels like we're not seeing a third round here, no matter what. Now, even without that almost decade-long age gap, I'd still lean Nolan. He's taller, younger, and has just 1 loss, even though it was by knockout. The safer play might be Nolan by decision since Borshev's never been knocked out, but there's a first time for everything. So I'm risking it, and I'm going with Nolan by knockout. Closing out the prelims, we've got Jack Jenkins versus Gabriel Santos. Jenkins is 13-3. He sparked out Burns in August 2024, got submitted by Mariscal, and won a split decision over Emmers back in 2023. Santos is 11-2, picked up a unanimous decision win over Yiza in September 2024, got sparked out by Onama, and dropped a split decision to Murphy in 2023. Jenkins is 31 and stands 5'7". Santos is 28 and 5'9". Topology's got 80% backing Jenkins, with 71% predicting a decision. But the odds tell a different story. Jenkins is a slight underdog at plus 190, while Santos is the favourite at minus 230. Jenkins looks locked in, getting big lifts and even bigger hops in. Santos is grinding too, spotted training with some sharks. Both fighters have a solid shot here. I only really see Santos winning by decision, but Jenkins? I can see him taking it by decision or knockout. Fighting in his home country, I think he's coming into this one ready. A decision or even just the money line might be the safer bet, but I'm going with my gut. I'm picking Jenkins by knockout. Kicking off the main card, we've got Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. Matthews is 20-7, picked up a unanimous decision win over Rowe in June 2024, lost to Morales in 2023, and choked out Flowers that same year. Prado is 12-2, dropped a unanimous decision to Zellhuber in February 2024, sparked out a Zaitar, and lost another unanimous decision to Malarkey in 2023. Matthews is 30 and stands 5'11". Prado's 22 and 5'10". Topology's got 79% backing Matthews, with 91% predicting a decision. The odds have him as a moderate favourite at minus 220, while Prado sits as a plus 180 underdog. Matthews looks locked in, posting occasionally, spotted with fellow Aussie card fighter Crute. Prado's locked in too, training hard and looking sharp, no signs of him missing weight. Matthews has 7 decision wins, 8 submissions and 5 knockouts, but he's also lost by all 3. Prado's losses are only by decision, and his wins are split evenly with 6 knockouts and 6 submissions. I get why Topology's leaning decision here. There's definitely a chance of a finish either way, but I'm going with the flow. I think he grinds it out. Matthews by decision. Next up, we've got Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. Crute is 12-4, was choked out by Menefield in 2023 and got sparked out by both Hill and Smith back in 2021. Bellato is 12-2, sparked out Potieria and Talha in 2023, plus grabbed a unanimous decision over Santos in LFA the same year. Both fighters are 28. Crute stands 6'2", Bellato's 6'3". Topology's got 82% backing Bellato, with 89% predicting a knockout. The odds agree, he's a slight favourite at minus 140, leaving Crute as a plus 120 underdog. Like I mentioned earlier, Crute's locked in, training with Matthews. Bellato's been sharpening up his all-around game too. Crute's on a rough skid, hasn't won in 5 years. Meanwhile, Bellato's proven he belongs at this level, ground and pounding Potieria for a fight of the night bonus. I'm with Topology and the odds on this one. Crute's got a bunch of first-round finishes, but I think this'll be another loss. I'm going Bellato by knockout. Up next, the featured fight of the night, Talison Teixeira versus Justin Taffa. Teixeira's 7-0 sparked out Lopez on Dana White's Contender Series in September, Mateus Fonseca in May, and Arthur Fonseca back in January 2024 in LFA. All first-round finishes. Actually, 6 of his 7 wins are first-round KOs, with the other being a first-round submission. Taffa's 7-4 dropped a unanimous decision to Williams in March 2024, but sparked out Lane and Porter in 2023. Teixeira's 25 and stands 6'7". Tafa's 31 and 6 foot even. 77% of topologies backing Teixeira, with 88% predicting a KO. The odds agree. He's a slight favourite at -155, with Tafa as the +130 underdog. I couldn't find any socials for Teixeira, so moving on. Tafa's been working pads, most likely training with his brother Junior. Tafa's great, his last performance wasn't, but the two before that definitely were. Teixeira's obviously a first-round killer, but he hasn't really been tested yet. This is his chance. If he comes out and gets another first-round KO over Tafa, currently ranked 17 on Topology's best MMA heavyweight list, he'll prove he belongs. As sad as it might be, I'm seeing business as usual here. Giving Teixeira the benefit of the doubt, I think this ends with Tafa on his back. I'm going with Teixeira by knockout, but I'll give Tafa some respect. I think he survives into the second, so my pick is Teixeira by knockout under 2.5 rounds. And in our co-main event, for the strawweight championship, Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. Zhang's 25 and 3, defended her strawweight title with unanimous decisions over Yan in April 2024 and Lemos in 2023, and choked out Esparza in 2022 to win the belt. Suarez is 10 and 0, choked out Andrade and La Rosa in 2023, and picked up a unanimous decision over Nunes back in 2019. Zhang's 35 and stands 5'3". Suarez is 34 and 5'5". 67% of topologies backing Zhang, with 81% predicting a decision. The odds are razor close, with Zhang as a slight favourite at -120 and Suarez sitting at +100. Zhang's sharpening her skills on the mat and on the mic, while Suarez is just focused on the mat. Suarez is going to be a tough challenge, maybe Zhang's toughest title defence yet. She's undefeated with a 7 out of 10 finishing rate, but Zhang's only been finished once. She's elite. 19 of her 25 wins are by finish. She knows what she's doing, and she's ranked number 1 on Topology's current best pound-for-pound female MMA fighter list. I see another title defense for Zhang here. I think she plays it smart, fights a careful 5-round decision, keeps it safe, and picks Suarez off. Probably a split decision, but a unanimous one wouldn't shock me either. My pick, Zhang by decision. In our main event for the middleweight championship, Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. DDP is 22 and 2, defended his belt by rolling up Adesanya in August, won the belt via split decision over Strickland in January 2024, sparked out Whitaker in 2023. Strickland is 29 and 6, won a split decision over Costa in June, lost the belt to DDP in January 2024. Before that, he claimed the title with a unanimous decision over Adesanya in 2023. DDP is 31, stands 6'1". Strickland is 33, also 6'1". 76% of topology backing DDP, 58% predicting a decision. The odds agree. He is a moderate favourite at -210. Strickland sits as a +170 underdog. Both fighters locked in. DDP treating it like serious business, looking like he's training to be a body model. Sean playing video games, flashing his piece in interviews. That said, he's still getting work in with the fighting nerds, training alongside Baralo. After beating the odds against Adesanya, wrong to count Strickland out just because DDP beaten him before. Some even called that fight close. I agree, but still think DDP deserved the win. Strickland seemed more focused back then than he does now, but can't judge everything based on social media. Training with Pereira and the crew keeps him sharp, so he definitely got a shot. That said, I think DDP keeps his title. Probably a split decision again, but can also see Strickland making a desperate mistake that leads to a finish. Honestly, can't settle on a method. Can picture DDP winning any of the 3 ways. So sticking with the safe bet, DDP on the money line. So that wraps up the joint decision for UFC 312. Quick recap. This card is getting burnt. Fans are calling it weak. Even the title defenses are kinda mid. I agree. Whole event feels like a filler card. It's a lineup of unproven nobodies and tired matchups that leave fans wondering, what's the UFC smoking? Raid Sarui versus Stuart Nicol is off because Nicol's injured. Crute was originally set to fight Prachnio, but he withdrew with Bellato stepping up. Topuria was originally set to face Haddon, but he withdrew, so Thickness has taken his place. And Usman versus JDM went up in smoke. On the mic, it's Anik, DC, and Bisping filling in for Rogan. He doesn't do international flights, so no Australia for him. DDP's rocking his South Africa-themed custom shorts again, so Zhang's probably getting her Chinese dragon-inspired red and gold ones too, which, to be fair, are the more fire pair. Sean Strickland's unfiltered rant has really lit a fire down under. Australian media are fuming over his blunt insults, with one headline screaming, "Knock this guy out," in response. Critics say his comments are a disgrace to the sport, but Aussie fans are seemingly still backing him. Some claiming he has staph, but he said, "You see this f***ing moustache? I give staph, I don't f***ing get staff." Dana White confirms Khamzat Chimaev will fight the winner of DDP versus Strickland, so whoever wins, enjoy it while it lasts. Zhang Weili said if she wins, she wants a shot at Valentina Shevchenko. Fair. And Jake Matthews eats fruit without peeling it. Yes, even bananas. Anyway, on to the bets. Here's where the money's at. Money lines on DDP. Decisions for Giuseppe, Matthews, Zhang. Knockouts for Park, Steele, Solkild, Thicknessy, Wang, Nolan, Jenkins, Bellato, Teixeira. I've not predicted any submissions for this card, but I'm sure I'll be wrong. Bonus bets. Kong Wang moneyline and Teixeira knockout under 2.5 rounds. Lock it in. And if I'm wrong, the Aussie parlay could bail me out. Solkild, Mycalif, Thickness, Nolan, Jenkins, Matthews, Crute and Tuffer. Feeling risky? Try the Dejan Savage parlay. DDP, Zhang, Teixeira, Bellato, Matthews, Jenkins, Nolan, Wang, Thickness, Giuseppe, Solkild, Steele and Park. Or go all in with the ultimate Dejan Savage parlay. Giuseppe, Matthews and Zhang by decision. Park, Steele, Solkild, Thickness, Wang, Nolan, Jenkins, Bellato and Teixeira by knockout, and DDP moneyline. That's it for UFC 312 by joint decision.